Chapter 8, Dorm Life, 1985. Earl, excited to be a college freshman, had been cleaning his dorm room all day in hopes to wash away the smell of moldy wood, mildew, and the stagnancy of having been closed up since May. This August day was stifling, and he was beginning to wonder if poor ventilation and dampness was all that had contributed to such a pungent odor, because he was feeling lightheaded. Since he hadn't seen his roommate at all, Earl took over and sprayed both vinyl mattresses, desks, and chairs with disinfectant. Also, in his roommate's absence, he took it upon himself to select the best side of the dorm room, the window side. Each side featured a bed, a desk, a chair, and a tiny closet, but only on one side had a window. That window side was claimed by Earl. There was another room just like it on the other side of the connecting bathroom. The bathroom smelled like fresh paint over cinder blocks and coagulated urine. The two rooms and bath would make up one suite used by 4 young men. Just as he finished dressing his bed, there was a melodic knock at the door. Earl opened the door to see a short, thin dude in a ball cap. "Hello." "Hi, is my brother here?" "If you mean my roommate, I haven't met him yet." Taking the hat off and releasing soft, bouncy golden blonde curls. "Oh, by the way, I'm a girl. I use the cap to get past the RA. A resident assistant is there to monitor dormitories if there is no available adult to police the building. In the 1980s, girls and boys were not permitted to commingle in the dormitories, even though they did. By the way, I knew you were a girl before you took the hat off and told me. You have a feminine voice and you're really tiny." "This is room 504, right?" "Yep." "Well, when you meet your roomie, his name is Brian. I'm his sister, Bryn. Brian and I are both first-year students from Mississippi. What about you?" "My name is Earl, also first year, from a small town in Louisiana called Pecan Grove." "A small town boy, huh? I would have totally guessed an island of some sort, even Hawaii. You have that sun-kissed skin with slick black hair and light eyes. You even have an interesting accent. What is your heritage?" "Well, I'm adopted, so I don't actually know exactly what my heritage is, but my birth certificate has Negro on it. It also has my adopted parents' names on it, so I know it had to have been modified at least that much at some point during the adoption process." "So you're black?" "That's pretty much what Negro means," Earl said with a smirk. "Yeah, I know that, but your look, though." "I guess it's never been a thought for me since I was raised in Pecan Grove. There are people with skin more pale than yours, with blue eyes and straight blonde hair, who have Negro on their birth certificates." "That's so weird." "So, do you want me to tell Brian his sister dropped by?" "Nope. I came by to get him, to see if he wanted to get some food. Do you have a cafeteria meal plan?" "I sure do. I'll go eat with you." At the table, conversation never stopped. The two seemed to have similar views on so many things. They even each ate spaghetti for dinner that evening. Earl reached across the table, turned his hand palm side up, shoving it in front of Bryn. "Let me see your schedule." "I don't have my schedule with me now, but I'll show it to you tomorrow. I will tell you that my major is biological sciences, pre-dentistry." "Are you serious? That's my major, my exact major." Bryn included. "I also considered veterinary science. Do you have any pets?" "Well, I have a couple of parakeets that I left with my parents," Earl announced. "Kenny is the blue one, Patty is chartreuse. They sit and watch movies with me. They're absolutely kicks to watch. My mama hates them, though. She says they're too loud and messy. They kick bird seeds out of the cage and all. I'm assuming you have pets since you considered vet science and all. Without pause, Bryn chimed, Yeah, a horse named Toonie. She's white and fancy looking. So fancy, she has a horn like a unicorn on her forehead. Well, it's actually a defect on her skull, which caused a lump to form on her head. It's not really shaped like a horn. Earl chuckled out loud at that statement, but caught himself when he noticed that Bryn was serious. She's my best friend. I ride her or brush her when I don't feel like dealing with real people, which is most of the time. I believe she really listens when I share deep emotions. Old Toonie, she's my girl. Wow, you really love your girl, huh? Yeah, Mom bought her for me the year my dad decided to adopt me. Earl tilted his head to the side. Your dad adopted you? Wait, I'm super confused. Bryn tilted her head to mirror Earl's, and she squinted her eyes and grinned. My birth father died when I was a baby, and Mom remarried. But he didn't adopt me until I was about 7 or 8. I can't remember which. Oh, I'm sorry about your birth father dying and all. I know nothing about my natural parents. I was adopted as a toddler. Mama had medical issues during the birth of my sister, and she couldn't have any more children, so God made me just in time to be available for them to adopt. That's what they always told me. Let me know if I'm too old to still tell it like that. Earl grinned impishly. No, it's cute, Earl. Say it just like that, always. It's majorly adorable. Bryn smiled big until her eyes squinted tightly. Earl blushed. Earl walked Bryn to her dorm, and they hung out in front of the TV downstairs for a while, watching must-see TV Thursday night. At 10 p.m., Earl decided to turn in for the evening, and this was the first night of many that Earl would come home to a sock on the doorknob. It seemed that Bryn's brother, Brian, had the same girlfriend since 8th grade, and they were also attending college together. Evidently, they didn't enjoy sleeping alone. Earl had slaved in the room for hours, getting it clean enough for him to be comfortable, and he rarely slept there at all the whole semester. But that night was the first night of his college career, and the only people he knew on campus were in the Fern dorm on the other side of campus, and so he returned. Fortunately, Bryn and her roommate Gina were still downstairs. Gina's sister was second year, and she was now with them. Bryn, your brother has a sock on the door. Oh no, he's always with that girl. Shari was my best friend from the time I was 5 years old until she and Brian got together just before high school. That was it. They are constantly together and rarely with other people, separately or apart. Bryn grieved. Earl interrupted. I don't know any dudes yet. Do y'all know any dudes on campus yet that can hook me up with a place to stay? Gina started. Classes don't start until Monday, and most people aren't on campus yet. We're all here early because we all came with Nat. Oh, Earl, this is my sister Nat. Hey, Earl. Yeah, I'm part of the program that began today, so I brought all these freshmen here with me. I'm in my second year now, Nat quickly chimed. Earl snickered to himself, wearing a wide grin and assuming Nat to be flirting. Well, I'm a freshman, and I came early because I'm a germaphobe who came to get his room disinfected, get his schedule together, and learn the campus. Gina giggled. You're a trip, Earl. Bryn mentioned that there is something special about you. Oh, y'all talked about me after I left here earlier tonight? Of course they discussed you after you left. Don't be so naive, fresh meat. Nat condescended sharply. So? So what? Bryn questioned. So what did y'all say? Earl inquired. What we need to discuss is if you know whether the other two dudes in your suite are on campus yet, Bryn slyly added while changing the subject. One of them came in while I was there cleaning today. He and his parents came in and dropped his things in the room and left. They said he'll be back Sunday afternoon. His auntie lives in town, and they're visiting with her for the weekend. I tried the door to that side, but nobody answered, and it was locked, Earl stated disappointedly. Nat confidently recommended, "You can sleep here. I know a way to sneak you in through the rear stairwell." "You're safest with me. Nat'll seduce you for sure," included Bryn. "But do y'all feel safe with me? I'm a stranger," questioned Earl. "Fresh meat. Ain't nobody scared of you. Besides, if you're concerned about that, you must not be harmful," pushed Nat. Quite stressed by his current circumstance and knowing the rugless floor was way too hard to sleep on, Earl was outdone that he was not able to shower that night. He dreaded lying on Bryn's clean bed dirty. He felt bad putting germs on her fresh sheets, and he was grossed out by the thought of sleeping all night in the same clothes he had worn all day. He even cleaned the suite toilet in those same clothes. Now he would be tainting the bed of his brand new friend, Bryn. "Earl, it's okay, I promise. I don't mind you sleeping on my bed without a shower. Get over it, dude." "Okay, Bryn, but if it reeks substantially in this room in the morning, don't say I didn't warn you. There's only one germaphobe here, and it's definitely not me. So we're gonna do back to back, head to toe, and get some shut-eye. Are you familiar with that?" Bryn asked. Earl laughed out loud. "Sure, back to back, head to toe is what we did when I was a little kid and my cousins slept over when there were fewer beds than people." "Good. My mom said it's what she and her cousins did when they were children. It's funny, I really thought she made it up. My mom is a little awkward. She always talks about her cousins and all they did together as kids, but I have yet to meet even one of her cousins," Bryn stated, almost captured by her own state of skepticism. Bryn continued, "She was an only child, and both of her parents died when she was only a teen, younger than we are now. Frankly, it's her only redeeming feature. She speaks of them often, and of her grandmother and her cousin Bobby. I don't even know where my mom is from. All I know is that she's from Louisiana. That's probably why I chose to come here for school. Silly, right? You probably couldn't care less about all my ramblings." Bryn speaking her every thought without first vetting them. "Actually, it would be fun to hear all about you, your mother, her quirkiness, and her cousin Bobby. Thanks to your brother and his girlfriend, you and I are becoming very close acquaintances very quickly, so I feel safe to say we'll have plenty of time to learn everything about each other." Not too close too quickly. Remember, back to back, head to toe, mister," Bryn sternly injected. "Yeah, I know. Anyway, my dad is named Bobby, so maybe he and your mother are cousins, which would make us cousins, making this a cousin sleepover, which is perfectly okay, right?" Earl said jokingly. "Well, I don't know. Were you adopted by white people? Because my mom is really white." "Bryn, I was playing. Bobby is a common name. I was only teasing. Go to sleep already, with all of your gabbing." Earl turned his back to Bryn's back, and his feet were at the back of her head. "Good night, Cousin Earl." Gina came from the bathroom smelling of an after-bath splash that he recognized. It was one his sister kept on her bathroom vanity. Was it Ginate or Love's Baby Soft? He couldn't think of which, but the smell overpowered his mind with thoughts of cleanliness and made him long desperately for a shower. He remained still and quiet, pretending to sleep while becoming intoxicated by Gina's fresh, clean scent. Gina glanced at the two lying in bed together, back to back, head to toe, who had only met each other that very day. She softly laughed. She shook her head, turned off the light, and collapsed into her bed for the night.